Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Untitled Tarot and welcome for your reading for the new moon in Aries for April 2021. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time discussing the astrology of the moon because Saturday evening, 6 p.m. GMT, so 1 p.m. Eastern and 10 a.m. Pacific, I'll be live streaming for the new moon. I'll be doing readings there as well. And also, I'll be having on astrologer David Fisher so we can pick apart the new moon on the astrology level. As ever, this is a general reading, or will be once I cover what I've pulled out of the new moon. And general reading rules apply. You know, there's an intro here with a timestamp below, so you can fast forward to the reading, one if you want to, but please hang around once for this intro, because I would like you to watch your sun, your moon, and your rising sign, especially your rising sign. That's the one that I always feel is the most important. But hey, it's a new moon. Watch your moon sign. But in the first, I'm just going to pick out some aspects. It's probably the wrong word to use in this case. Some significations of this new moon. But as a general reading, you know, general reading rules will apply. Timing's not absolute. Roles can get reversed. You know the plot by now. And although you can ask a question prior to the reading, so you can have a think about that while I'm going through the moon itself, then hopefully that reading will give you some form of answer and you'll be able to tell if it's not a reading for you. It's a Celtic cross this time, so it's still, I don't like that idea of take what resonates. It's either the lot or nothing. That's the way my mind works. Whole thing or nothing at all. But again, with a Celtic cross, there is an element of past and present, so you'll be able to tell whether it's for you or not. Right, let's get on to this moon, 22 degrees Aries. Now, on the Facebook page for this channel, I've already posted a lot of the astrologers discussing this new moon, and every time I find a new show, I'll be posting that up there as well. So as you know, with the sun ingress into Aries, that's the start of the astrological new year. But it's almost like that between the sun ingress into Aries and the new moon in Aries is almost like a planning time, a waiting time, a time of potential. And the new moon in Aries is what really kicks the year off. Now, this year it's at 22 degrees Aries and is ruled by the angel Melahel, who as a degree angel represents sharing the flame, a healing capacity. That's good signs to start off with. Now, as one of the Shem HaMephorash, that's the angels who bear the name of God, and the meaning of Melahel's name is the God who deflects the evil. Now, all of these angels have 5 points around the zodiac, and I've been drawn recently to study these 5 points because, hey, that's where my background is. I want to know about the pentagrams. So, Melahel, you'd think all of them, but not according to the reference I've been looking at. But Melahel's 5 points do indeed form a pentagram, as do most of the degree angels, but strangely not all of them. Nithaya is one that doesn't. So if you have planets, obviously at 22 degrees Aries, but also 4 degrees Cancer, 16 degrees Virgo, 28 degrees Scorpio, or 10 degrees Aquarius, this could be a wonderful new moon to start something really, really creative, because it's a direct pentagram, quintile aspects between the various points, obviously, and there can be some wonderful energies being brought up by that. The fact that it's at 22 degrees, 24 minutes, is it 24 minutes? Yeah, 24 minutes Aries. It's in the first half of 22 degrees, because looking at the symbols, this degree is a little bit double-edged. But just going back to that pentagram, this is also the pentagram of the Saturn of Dion Fortune of the Order of the Golden Dawn. So if you know anything about Dion Fortune, you know that I expect setting intentions, doing some form of creative magic, or doing some form of creative project, starting it on the 3 days of this new moon to have some extra whammy, extra blessing, especially if you invoke the angel Melahel in this process. You know, even if it's you're just about to put paintbrush to canvas and say, Melahel, assist me with this. Angels need permission. They can't just do what they're designed to do without your permission, because they will always respect your free will. And Melahel especially is about those healing efforts. Supports the development of your healing gifts, I'm looking at right now, and helps you to accept those parts of you that you feel are hard to love. Restores and revitalizes with the energy of love. That's coming from an Aurosoma site that I used to think Aurosoma was a bit weird, and then I tried using it one time, only the one bottle, but I had spectacular results. So if you find one of those, what they called essences that you're drawn to, go for it. Now, Melahel is a guardian angel of a period of Cancer, July the 12th to the 16th. So if you are Cancer, Sun, Moon or Rising, this should also be very, very useful to work with Melahel in your new creative project. And in terms of doing the magic, there is, now, where is it? Oops, I've put it in the wrong place. So there is, from Franz Barden, he, through his magical work, he found names and sigils for what he called the degree heads, those beings that exemplify, can explain the energy of each individual degree of the zodiac, as beings that a magician can evoke. Now, the name of the entity or degree head for 22 degrees Aries is Belisarius. Now, quoting from Barden's notes, this head, like the two foregoing ones, is superior to the others in wisdom, cleverness, and sagacity. And he teaches the magician to apply the laws of the zone girdling the earth by the Akasha principle to realize them in the physical world. Belisarius is always willing to help the magician in any respect. So, as well as invoking Melahel, maybe have a little word with Belisarius as well. And what that phrase meant in English, he teaches the magician to apply the laws of the zone girdling the earth, i.e. the zodiac, the ecliptic, by the Akasha principle to realize them in the physical world. This, now, I am not a fan of quite a lot of the manifestation philosophies. I think it's taken a perfectly valid magical law and forgotten the fact that there's numerous others, depending on who you listen to. There's 6 others or there's 21 others, you know. So 22 would figure with the major arcana, really, wouldn't it? Or the tree of life. So even with that, with the description of Belisarius and his capabilities, that it's the secret incarnate, you know. So which is perfect for setting things into motion. With Melahel's, getting my teeth tongue-tied, Melahel's healing influence as well, because hey, world needs a lot of healing at the minute, doesn't it? So I don't think there's any of us in the life that couldn't do with a little smattering of some good healing energy, either for ourselves or that we can then radiate out into the world in a good hippie woo-woo fashion, and actually do some good and improve the world. Now, this degree says take a chance. Looking at the Chandra symbol, the inside degree of this degree is Aries 23, because 22 degrees Aries to 23 degrees Aries is the 23rd degree, is a bottle labelled Drink Me. Now, if you remember, this is what made Alice in Wonderland shrink. The interpretation written from Inside Degrees is the force of events sweeps away who we thought we were and plunges us to a deeper place beyond the known. The sheer immediacy, the sudden clarity shifts mountains of intent into a different octave altogether. Being taken by storm is the most direct path from here to there. And when cosmic worlds are urgently coming through, the only smart thing to do is to step aside and make a huge amount of room for unexpected guests at events that you could never have arranged in your wildest dreams. Now, that, I think, is beautiful. Another interpretation says the bottle asks you to try something whose results you won't know until you do it. Take a chance. Just as the painter applies successive layers of paint to see what will happen. We tend to think it's good to be careful, but not always. This degree has a refreshing lack of caution that most often carries it to surprising and wondrous places. So we've got that manifestation energy. We've got that healing energy. Now, this is not something that's just naturally going to come in. This is something that you have to actually ask for and intend to use, because intent is everything. But there's, like I say, this degree is a little double-edged. Let's have a look at the symbols. I'm looking at the wrong page here. Was it Kosminski? Right, the Safarial degree symbol says it is a degree of weakness. Adriana Corelli says it's a degree of fatality. Now, that is not as bad as what it sounds. I'm not talking about a Mortal Kombat fatality. It's setting something into motion karmically and receiving karma where required. I mean, okay, we've just had a year's worth of zodiac action that's been all about clearing karma, but I personally think that it's probably something that's never going to entirely run out. Now, the Cherubel degree symbol says that in a birth chart, this can be malefic, to put it gently. I don't want to focus on this. Kosminski says it's a symbol of entrapping. So where I'm saying ask Belisarius, Melahel to assist you in your creative projects, ask especially Melahel also for the guidance, if it be right, and it harm none. All of those magical laws, and it harm none is one that tends to be forgotten. People just remember the do as thou wilt to be the whole of the law. It's and it harm none, do as thou wilt be the whole of the law. But you are opening a door to adventure with this particular new moon. Now, speaking of that, it's also something that you may not know what the result is, but you're unlikely, David will correct me Saturday night if I'm wrong, but you're unlikely to be upset in your efforts by some surprise left field event, because the moon is talking to every single planet in the sky bar Uranus. So there isn't that for the moon related projects. I'm not saying something unexpected won't turn up. There's Uranus aspects that's no doubt coming up. I can't remember off the top of my head. But in this one issue that you use the new moon for, this healing new project, what have you, it's not that the result will be unexpected, it's that you don't necessarily know what it is, but it's not something that's going to come and knock you off your feet unless that's in a good way. That's how I would interpret that. I'm putting all this information here for you to make your own mind of and see what feels right. And obviously, it links with your own chart and what way the wind's blowing. And you know, there's Dane Rudyard with the Sabian symbol, a pregnant woman in a light summer dress, are showing it's indicating the conception and gestation, obviously, of the project that you are wanting, that you can use this new moon to come around. He sees this as a degree of inner fulfillment, or the potential of reaching towards inner fulfillment, and it has a keynote of fecundity, you know, harvest. So it's double-edged. Ask for guidance, check that it's with the divine plan, and all the little caveats that you want to put in. And if you don't normally put those in, start. I am not suggesting that your will not be done, but the way I was trained, or the way I was work, was always add that "and it harm none, if this be in line with the divine plan," all those sort of caveats, and then go for it hell for leather, probably the wrong phrase, to see what occurs. And you're giving spirit the freedom to take you to the right place while working on what hopefully feels right for you. So, as I said, ask a question. And you don't have to watch this a second and third time, don't worry. Ask your question and I will bring the cards up. Okay, Libra, this new moon is happening in your 7th house. So that's all about your long-term significant partners, spouse or romantic partner, childhood friends that you are still in touch with, business partners, all those, the really, 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 really important ones in your life. Now, there seems to have been some form of transgression. This may be a long-standing thing, because we have, from the Angelarium, we have Zadkiel, the angel of mercy, which points out, yeah, you can ask for mercy, but in asking for mercy, you are submitting yourself to judgment. All of your flaws will be exposed, which is really interesting in the context of the rest of the reading. So what Zadkiel implies is that admit your faults openly. And to a certain extent, I get the feeling that if you admit your faults openly, you may well get someone turning around to you and going, no, that's not your fault. That's a symptom of another fault that you haven't thought of. And so there's that journey of understanding, which will never be easy. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say, oh, it'll be lovely, a walk in a park. No, it's always going to be uncomfortable. But there is transformation being offered here. Transformation that you want as much as you fear it. But as I keep saying about new moon in Aries, it's new beginnings, initiated, being the first sign and the first new moon of the astrological year, and just being a new moon. You're on a journey already. We're starting with the Knight of Wands. That there's something that you're wanting to set right with, but this Justice card came out like that, upside down. So it's almost as if you're surging forward while looking back. and wanting to set something right without necessarily realizing that you're wanting to set something right, because you're feeling quite content as the way things are, or you're feeling quite nostalgic for the way things used to be, I think is a better way of interpreting that card. But here on the bottom of the deck, Ace of Pentacles, you've got this new beginning already up and underway. And Spirit is bringing in lots of guidance for you here. What you have to be wary of. That's where I was getting it from. Right. What you have to be wary of is illusion. The moon being your obstacle here. So that's why I was getting from that Zadkiel, someone going, oh no, that's not your problem. That's not your flaw. You're right that you do that, absolutely. But have you noticed that it's this that's causing it? Which is always going to be, sort of one of those Muppet turning their mouth inwards moments where you go, oh. Because I think there is some time in the past here where you may have been led down the garden path by somebody, and that hasn't felt good once you realised, obviously. And so it's almost like you feel that someone else is being selfish, or that someone else has been economical with the truth with you. Just allow at the moment the events to unfold as they will. You've already started a momentum going. You've already started building a new beginning with this Ace of Pentacles here. And this is going to pay off. Empress card here in the future. However, your final outcome for just this reading here is the Hanged Man, which indicates wisdom is coming, but there's a huge confusing time beforehand. And so you're wanting this transformation and dreading this transformation all at the same time. Now, what's interesting here, Jeliel from the Oracle of Heaven and Hell, Jeliel representing love and wisdom. Now, Jeliel is, as in the new moon chart, rules the degree of the North Node, 13 degrees Gemini. So, have I got that right? Yeah. Jeliel is ruling the North Node, 13 degrees Gemini. There's a certain amount of destiny going on here, and there's a certain amount of hunger going on here as well. If you think about the North Node as Rahu and Ketu, Rahu is the bodiless head that keeps on devouring. So maybe this is why this other person who had been economical with the truth or misled you somehow, not, I might add, necessarily on purpose. And this is where that influence of Zadkiel also comes in. I don't think they misled you on purpose. It's more, that's just the way they are, and they haven't thought about it any deeper than that. And therefore they told you what they did, not because they were lying, but because they simply hadn't thought about it any deeper than that. If that makes sense. But all of this is coming clear slowly. But the thing is, slowly. The facts and the information that's coming to you, it's a drip, drip, drip. Which is why recognition of what is happening does not necessarily require action. As I said, you've already started a new beginning here, and I think on a sort of subconscious level, because I don't think that's conscious, but on a subconscious level, it was like, I'm going to set this right. But it was going to set this right before you necessarily knew that something that was wrong. But beware of what hunger is driving you here. That's what Jeliel with Zadkiel is intimating to me, because Jeliel is saying go the path of love and wisdom, not the path of the ever devouring bodiless dragon head. And there's a mouthful trying to say that after a whiskey or two. So I love this row. I mean, you've got all major arcana, other people affecting you as the high priestess, a faceless high priestess at that, almost like some form of Doctor Who creature. And then hopes and fears, judgment, transformation, decision. So at once that you want it and you're scared of it, and the final outcome, the Hanged Man. But this Hanged Man is a slow transformation. Odin hung upside down on the world tree for 7 or 9 days. I don't remember which. I think it's 7, but it might have been 9 representing the 9 of the 9 worlds. But I think it was 7. Someone correct me, because I still haven't got round to looking this up, and I mentioned it in a reading a couple of days ago. And it took time. And also there's with the Zadkiel, I don't think you need to invoke Zadkiel. I think you need to embody Zadkiel, not ask for mercy and judgment, but deliver mercy. Because, and I'm not adding judgment onto that sentence because I think it's already there. You know, there's a growing awareness of this. And I don't want to say that whatever it was is okay. It's probably not. If it's causing this amount of, it's probably not okay. But the thing is that it's done now. So let's see how we're going to move forward. Because you know what goals you're aiming for. But I will also say that a hunger for something from the past isn't going to serve you either. You know what notes that you've experienced in the past you may want to experience again, but that's about as far as that goes. Is there anything else that I see here? I'm at a loss what to call this reading. A time of destiny. Time of destiny and mercy, that's what I'll call it. So if this means anything to you, Libra, please do comment down below. I always try to respond to comments quite quickly, and it's always nice to know that the readings that I'm doing find their home, that they get to the people who they're supposed to get to. Because I'm not reading for every single Libra. Certainly not with my viewing figures, I'm not. Anyway, so on that note, please press the like button if you enjoyed the video. The subscribe button really does help the channel, so thank you for everyone who's subscribed so far. And don't forget, I will be live streaming 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Well, I suppose it's British summertime, really, isn't it? On Saturday, so adjust for your local time zone. Yeah, I should stop saying GMT because it's not, it's British summertime. Where I'll be joined by astrologer David Fisher, and then be doing more readings for the new moon. And like I say, this one it's a big one, so I look forward to seeing you there. Or it's YouTube. I look forward to you seeing me there. Cheers.